Welcome into Championship Sunday here at the U.S. Amateur Basketball Tournament hosted by Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus here in beautiful West Chapel, Florida. And so far we just started up 2 minutes into the action, 4-0 against the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Impact. 4-0. Brandon Ferguson alongside Skylar Blaine. Skylar, what are you expecting to see from these 8th grade girls here into Game 3 of their championship bracket?
A lot of hustle, a lot of transition points. Find the open lady, and let's play some high basketball here, Brandon.
And full court press here from Miami Impact. Getting a turnover from the Jaguars. Pull-up jumper is no good. Foul called. It's going to send the Impact to the line. And shortly, we will have our FSU Hall of Famer, Tia Grace, join us to give some insight on the women's game. Free throws good. Jaguars lead 4-1 over the Impact, 4-2 after 2 successful free throws. Full court press from the Impact. Another turnover, another bucket.
Something about the full court press off the rip, where you can't
even breathe.
Yeah, you
think about it.
You can't breathe at all.
And another foul on the other end.
And I think too, you always want to get a feel for the game, tempo, pace, and just how you're going to go into the basketball game. When you don't get a chance to feel the game just comes at you. That can cause a lot of mistakes. And I feel like the full court press is perfect if you want to take advantage of a team that might not be ready coming out just to start.
Jaguars to the line. No good. 4-4 ball game. 3 minutes in. It's going to be an Impact turnover. Full court press still being applied from the Impact as it's been successful in its last 3 plays. That's going to get tipped right to us at the desk. And the Impact's full court press has really been working out.
On the bright side, we're alive, we're good, the table's intact, and we're ready to call some basketball.
And
right now, the full court press is absolutely getting to the Jaguars, but ultimately they're still able to get down the court, draw a foul, and still be able to find some sort of an angle in the game where they can execute as they pass into the paint.
Down low, no good. Rebounded Jaguars. Out to Warlow. Swinging it around, no good. Still 4-4 here, 13-20. Foul called on the Impact. And now joined by Tia Grace, USF Hall of Famer. What has the evolution of the women's game really meant to you and seeing it throughout the years, from playing to now seeing how much it has grown?
It's great to see. Just me playing at a different level of the game. It just shows these girls are really one to play and one to work hard and one to get better and just and love the game. It's a lot of girls. When I was playing, just was playing just to be playing. We didn't have that luxury of being inside a gym and being able to train with great trainers like myself. But it's just they put in the work, and it's amazing to see how great it's going, and especially Caitlin Clark taking it to a new height. So it's a great feeling to just be at a point to see it.
Yes, as Serena Volsi knocks down both free throws. This Impact full court press has been absolute killer so far on the Jaguars. And just for the Jaguars, a small roster of 6, and for the Impact, quite a bigger roster for them of 8. So we're going to see a lot of playing time for both of these teams. Skylar and 6'4", just 3 minutes in. What have you seen so far? I know that full court press has been absolutely huge for the Impact.
The Jaguars right now, I think they thought they were going to go into the game and you kind of feel it out. When you get the full court press, that can throw off the mojo. But I do have a question for you, Tia. How did you handle starting out in the game, and you're in a full court press, but you might be a little bit more physical than your defense? Would you send a message, and I'm not at any point saying, I get the age group, but in terms of how would you kind of counteract that when they got physical with you?
Just killed them with speed. Most teams that are physical, very physical, didn't have the speed to keep up with me. So it was really about knowing my angles, knowing the gaps that I can get into, and just going around those traps.
And Ella Mott just knocked down a huge three-pointer on the other side for Jacksonville Jaguars. No good there from Gabriella O'Reilly, cleaned up by Sophia Larry. She has 6 points so far this evening. Beautiful putback layup there from Emma Pasagano, into the corner. Shot from number 22, Sylvia Figueroa. Big shot for the Impact. 11-9 they lead, and a big steal by Figueroa. A high arcing layup, no good for Camilo Velasco. Rebound, Jaguars up the right side of the court. Out of bounds. We have a sub in for the Miami Impact. It's going to be Ava Fieni checking in.
I will say, Brandon, if you're going to run a full court press starting out, you have to have a deep rotation. Because if you're going to gas your girls off the rip, I'm assuming you have a backup plan.
And so far it's been working out. They've been getting turnovers and buckets because of it. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. As a beautiful pass from Serena Volsi down low to Ava Fieni.
Shades of Sue Bird right there.
I mean, beautiful, beautiful dime right there. And hits the floor on the offensive foul. Bailey Ray cannot believe that call.
Look at Tia, she's like, he's tapped in. Gave me the look, he's tapped in.
Yeah.
You thought I was going to go Jason Kidd with it or something, or Steve Nash. We'll keep it relevant.
Definitely.
Into the corner, free throw line, pass out to the opposite corner. Pump fake on the wing. Sophia Lurie, no good on that. Fast break. Jaguars pull up. Ella Mott. Three-pointer is good.
Think she's a fan of Caitlin Clark?
I mean, she shoots like it.
Yeah, but I say the form looks identical.
13-12, the Jaguars lead the Miami Impact. 6 minutes in to the first half action in Game 3 of this 8th grade girls championship bracket. Marissa Deitch controlling the offense now. Drive in from Cadence Hallis. It's going to get called and send her to the line. Hallis just checked in for the Jaguars and looking to extend this lead. Just short on the first one.
Talk about resiliency. They started out without 4 or 5 turnovers, and they're only down by 1.
And that's huge. That's huge to fight through that and now be on the other side of it. That's big.
Yeah, basketball is a game of runs, so you're going to have your moments to where you turn the ball over, unfortunately, but you got to know, the game's going to get better. It's a full game it has to be played, and you just continue to stay at it and try to continue to execute down the line. Everything will work out.
Cadence Hallis couldn't finish it on the fast break, gets cleaned up by Emma Pasagano. 14-13, Jaguars lead, 9:30 in the first half. Valesco in the corner turns it over. Mott with the steal. Deitch with the tough finish through contact. Jaguars up 3.
Great rotation on that steal right there, Brandon. She was there on the zone, anticipated the pass, transition layup.
Ready for it. Into the corner. Valesco, low block. Warlow gets a hand on it. Mott pushes it up. Pass deflected away. It's going to be Jaguars ball as subs are made.
Great adjustment for the Jags. Minimize those turnovers off the full court press, and they've been breaking the press. And then on the defensive end, just great anticipation, great rotation.
And Tia, what is the skill level change from 8th grade girls now to 8th grade girls when you were in 8th grade? Is there any noticeable change, or is it definitely improved?
Yeah, it's definitely improved. It's a big change. Me coming out, we had athletes. We were able to play, more than one sport. But these girls here, they play, multiple sports, but they also have the basketball knowledge. They have the IQ that we didn't have access to growing up. We didn't have the YouTube that we necessarily went to and seen, high quality basketball being played. So we had to really kind of go out and look for it to even understand it, or our coach, taught us that. But these girls, they're in a whole nother level as far as IQ when I came out of 8th grade.
And the Miami Impact making an impact early, up to 8:19 to go. And Skylar, so far early in this one, we've seen it all. We've seen three-pointers, we've seen fast breaks. What have you taken away from these first 8 minutes of this half?
Great coaching, great adjustments, especially the teams haven't made the same mistake twice. Other than the full court press, the turnovers, they've been able to make adjustments, great spacing, great anticipation. I mean, all in all, great basketball, especially for the age group that it's at right now. Just very impressed what I'm seeing from these young ladies.
Jaguars out of their 30-second timeout. Impact's ball. We've seen the Madison Londano 3 go in about 2 possessions ago for the Impact. Serena Volsi passes it out to Gabriella O'Reilly, gets trapped back to Volsi. Good finish down low. Bailey Ray out. Gets that one stolen by the Impact. Sylvia Figueroa pushing it up. Finds Ava Fiini. Volsi looking for 2 straight layups in a row, and she gets it. Volsi getting on fire here early in the paint. Steal by the Impact. Layup's good and one. Gabriella O'Reilly finishes through contact. 22-18, the Impact lead. 7:30 left in the first half.
2 consecutive good plays from the Impact. One driving baseline, draws the help, dishing, great layup, and then same thing on the other end. I mean, anticipating the pass. Jaguars are going to have to be able to do a better job breaking that press.
It's going to be a lane violation. And the Jaguars are going to inbound it. Full court press still in effect for the Impact. Jaguars have numbers. Beautiful pass. Cadence Hallis to Marissa Deitch with the finish. 20-22. Competitive ball game here early. Steal by the Jaguars. They push it up. Ella Mott hands it off to Cadence Hallis. Hallis out. That's Warlow. Ray to Deitch. She loses it. Warlow comes up with it. Top of the key. Great defensive pressure by the Impact. Mott slows it down. Hallis slows it down, drives in, and draws the foul.
The Jaguars are at their best when that ball is they're getting rid of that ball fast. The moment they give the Impact any time to collapse, they're big bodies. They're going to be able to be physical with you. So if you're the Jaguars, hot potato, get to the shot, high percentage.
And that's what they've been doing, and drawing fouls, sending Hallis to the line, and that will not go. And Tia, you're the Hall of Famer here. What have you seen so far early in this one? Just a 2-point game, competitive. What have you seen from either side?
Both teams are playing very well. They're both are patient offensively, getting the shots that they want, and it looks like both teams have great chemistry. That's a big difference in great teams and good teams. Like, they look like they've played, for a while together and know where each other's going to be, know each other's spots, and that's why they're playing high-quality basketball right now.
There's Volsey, top of the key, passes around, ends up being tipped out of bounds. Jaguars, it's going to be off of them, Impact the ball. Volsey, great move down low to get open. Couldn't quite finish it. Hallis on the fast break. Floater good through contact. Figueroa finds Madison Londano. Londano with the floater. She's knocked down a jump shot. Now a floater in this one.
Heavy contest on that floater, and that was a tough bucket.
These girls going back and forth in this first half. Hallis gets that one stolen. Mott. Volsey of the Impact tried to save it. Couldn't quite. Going to be out on the Impact. (24-22), 5:30 to go in the first half. Deitch, top of the key. Warlow in the corner. Pasagano now passing it to Mott. Pasagano spots up, 3, banks it in, good. We've seen a few banked in 3-pointers from either team. That puts the Jaguars up 1.
These girls are already playing at a high school level right now. I wouldn't think they're 8th grade the way they're playing. They're executing, they're making the right passes, they're making great passes, and playing hard. The key thing that they're doing is playing hard. It's back and forth game, and it's exciting to watch. I'm in awe right now. And
like you mentioned, it's not even about boys and girls at this point. The IQ of these 8th grade boys and girls are off the charts, and so yeah, some of the passes they're making and just the athletic plays on offensive and defensive end have been incredible. As a steal right there from Mott. Mott up to Warlow, tries to save it, couldn't quite. Turnover, Jaguars, Impact ball.
So I have a question before we do this timeout here. Tia, how long for you did it take to really trust teammates, maybe if it was brand new, to build that chemistry? And I know everything's situation and dependent, but for you, how long did it really take for you to build the chemistry?
I would say probably a month or so, just consistently, playing together, playing against each other, and having that outside bonding time as well. It doesn't all happen on the court, so you have to have those extra moments and those extra times to be able to really know the person, know your teammate.
And how would you balance on-court chemistry with film session chemistry? Because I know I've heard there's two different. You almost have to be able to be in there with your girls or with your team and be able to translate that from the film room out onto the court. What age were you when you were able to really process film? I know when you're younger, it's kind of like, okay, we have to do this. I'm athletic. But then as you get older, you realize the benefits of watching it. How long did it take you to really process film?
It took me a while because we didn't have film when I was in middle school or high school. I didn't touch film until I got to college. So, you know, being on that stage, being in that setting, and then, you know, watching film and trying to understand what I was doing out there and taking accountability, that was big to, you know, what I did and didn't do on the court. So it took me a minute to really, you know, process and understand my mistakes and things that I can really involve at. And once I got that down, it was just like, oh, we should have been at this. It was like a light bulb. So thank God for film.
Look at the effort from these girls. Both teams on the floor. It's going to be jump ball, impacts possession, as these girls are really getting after it. The inbounder is going to be O'Reilly. O'Reilly down to Volsey, and Volsey has been a force in the paint. Cannot get that one to go. Jaguars in the fast break. What a pass to Mott. Warlow, top of the key. Steps into a J, no good. Rebound, Hallis. Offensive rebounds are coming all the time right now for the Jaguars, and rebound, finally the Impact come up with that evasive defensive rebound, slowing it down to Figueroa, to Loria. Loria, no good. She's fighting for it. On the ground, jump ball. It's going to be Jaguars possession now. And, I mean, it's the fight from both of these teams. 25-24 is Deitch subs in for Mott. Excuse me, for Hallis. And the Impact still going with this full court press. Off-ball screen there from the Jaguars. Floater no good for Mott. She comes up with it again. Now, I mean, these players are on the floor every single play, and that's exactly what you want to see from both coaches. 25-24. The Jaguars coach having a conversation with the referee about the jump ball possession discrepancy, and he's going to win that battle. And now the Impact coach has something to say about it. Jaguars ball.
It's our ball, ain't it?
It's our ball, ain't it? That's what LeBron said. And I think the Jaguars coach won that argument. The refs are going to get together and think about it and discuss. It's going to be Jaguars ball. Excuse me.
Coach got you winded up too, man. Is it our ball?
Whose ball is it? I don't know. I mean, what are we talking about? 25-24, 3:17 here on the Florida Athletics Network U.S. Amateur Basketball Tournament Championship Sunday, Game 3 for this 8th grade women's bracket. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Impact. Mott with a beautiful in and out move. Pasagano, three-pointer, straight on's good. Pasagano's reigning in three-pointers, 28-24. Jaguars ahead.
That was a Curry patented in and out, and then she really came off that screen well.
It was a great move, great skill from these young ladies. Figueroa out. Finds O'Reilly. O'Reilly resets it to Figueroa. Corner. Laria, that's good. The shot-making ability of these young ladies, Tia, is off the charts.
This is high level right here.
They're making more shots than the boys.
Yeah.
They are.
They're
It's
doing
a higher score.
A jab step, sizing up the defense, and pulling the three in her face. That's next level.
Mott, deep three. No good. Secured by Volsey. Figueroa slows it down. Volsey loses it, gains it back, and that's going to be a double dribble on the Impact forward of Ava Fieni.
The point guard for the Jags, Mott, has a really, for an 8th grader, has a really good feel for the game. Her ability to sense where the leverage was on that defender. She didn't even let the screen happen. She came off that in and out, and then that defender was like, what are you,
yeah,
are you a mind reader?
She knew what she was doing before
it even happened.
Yeah, she had her size upset as a turnover right there from the Jaguars. Figueroa pushes it, pulls up three, no good. Fighting for the offensive rebound. And we've seen these girls on the floor more in these first 15 minutes of this first half than any of the first 3 games so far in this one. The fight and the effort from these young ladies. Mott. Sofiani. Warlow now with it. And Mott gets a screen from her other guard. Cross-court pass from Deitch. Deitch with a hesitation, pass to Warlow. Rebound Hallis. Hallis, look at the crossover back. Loses it, trying to split the defenders. Impact steal. Figueroa, your point guard of the Impact, finds Volsi. It's O'Reilly in the corner, and it's going to be Jaguars ball. Just a 1-point game, Tia, so far early. What do either of these two teams have to do to pull away in this really close game? Offense and defense, they're both playing very well.
That's a tough one. I would say for the Jaguars to limit the turnovers on the full court pressure. I know it's easier said than done, but try to limit the turnovers and try to make Impact play a half-court game. You can tell Impact love to go up and down the court. They actually have the bench for it and the subbing rotations for it. So if you can just slow the game down and get it into a half-court setting for the Jaguars, they'll be able to pull away a little. And
when you started your answer about the limiting the turnovers on the full court press, they got one. So welcome to the broadcaster jinx. Tia Gray says no good there from Mott. 1-point game. The Jaguars lead by 1. Impact. Figueroa, Volsi, top of the key, drives in, puts her head down, tries to look for Lariah, and that is going to result in a turnover for the Impact. 29-28 heading into halftime. Skylar, what do the Jaguars have to do to come out and keep this momentum on their side?
Keep that ball moving. I'm going to take a wild guess here and say that Miami Impact's going to come out in a full press. If that happens, you need to get rid of that ball quick and get to the open space and be able to move it around. And if you're Miami Impact, keep doing what you're doing. You're being physical. You're able to create turnovers and get high percentage shots.
And for Skylar Blaine, Tia Grace, Brandon Ferguson will be back after the break. 29-28, the Jacksonville Jaguars lead the Miami Impact. Welcome back to the Florida Athletic Network. We are here at the U.S. Amateur Basketball Tournament on Championship Sunday here at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus here in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Brandon Ferguson alongside Skylar Blaine and Tia Grace. And Tia, we've seen a full court press work out in the Impact's favor, but then they started to tone off of it a little bit at the end of the first half. Jaguars up 1. What do the Impact have to do to really get out and get ahead of this Jaguars team?
Just keep their foot on the gas. Keep making it a full court game, a fast-paced game, and control that tempo. They do not want to run into those taller girls, every possession. They don't want to run into those taller girls every possession in the half-court setting. So if they can continue that pressure throughout the second half and create those turnovers and get those fast breaks, they'll be in good shape.
And as we see a turnover from the Impact, and there's nothing negative against the Impact, but during halftime, the Jaguars players stayed out here and shot free throws throughout the 5-minute intermission. So yes, Jaguars all about the hoops on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in Florida. Passing around the three-point line for the Impact. Figueroa back to her, top of the key. Volsi down in the middle. Lariah getting fouled, trying to get that ball out. She was getting trapped by, looks like, half the Jaguars team. And just 1 minute into the second half. This is game 3 of the 8th grade girls championship bracket. Miami Impact versus Jaguars. Figueroa, top of the key again. She's setting up her offense to the left side. That's O'Reilly. O'Reilly drives in, drops it off to Lariah, and that's good. The Impact up 3. The Impact were leading at halftime by 1. Jaguars now down 3. Deitch lets a good-looking three-pointer go. Couldn't quite finish it. Impact on the counterattack. Figueroa is your point guard for the Impact, setting up their offense. Nice jump shot there by Valesco. Couldn't get the fall. Offensive rebound, Impact. Down low to the low block. No good. Secured by the Jaguars. Jaguars on the fast break. They have numbers. Mott tries to get a little finger roll action. Couldn't finish it. Now Figueroa is pushing it, slicing and dicing through the Jaguars defense. To Valesco in the corner. Back out. Finds her. It's like on that left side of the court, at least a triangle offense running from the Impact. Volsi loses it. Jaguars steal. Jaguars fast break. Gets slowed down. Great transition defense from the Impact. Volsi tries to get a steal. She does. One-on-one with her and Varlow. She gets fouled heading to the line for Serena Volsi.
They bring a double over to the wing, or the help side. Help side came with a double right when Mott came down. Y'all saw that?
Yes.
That was in.
And
like, she didn't see it coming. I was surprised, and she turned, and the double was there. I'm like, oh, wow. So they're sending a double at her.
yeah, they had numbers, so.
Got to go down.
It's going to be 31-28 after Volsi misses that free throw. Subs in for the Jaguars. Pasagano's going to check out, and Bailey Ray is going to check in. Impact up 3. Volsi on the line. We've seen Volsi dangerous in the paint tonight. Couldn't get either of them to fall. Great offensive rebound off the free throw, and back to the line the Impact go. And Tia, you can't let rebounds off the free throw. You have to box out. You just something that you're just giving up a free, another opportunity, and they make them pay for it.
Right. That's a coach's pet peeve, giving up offensive rebounds, especially free throw rebounds. Those are the ones that should be gimmies, being down there on the block. So you see that, and coach goes crazy, you know why.
Better grab that gallon of water for practice the next day.
Definitely.
Going to be running. Speaking of running, Mott on the fast break loses the dribble. Didn't know if she wanted to dribble or pass. It's going to be a travel on her. Impact up 5, 33-28, 13-27 left in the second half. Skylar, 5-point lead now for the Impact. They've came out this half. The Jaguars have not scored yet. What have the Impact been doing on defense to make sure the Jaguars haven't scored yet?
I think they're excuse me, I'm sorry. The size of Miami Impact is just absolutely they're taking advantage of it. And when they come down the lane, they're not getting those high percentage shots. The Jaguars were able to break the press there, but even when they got down, they brought instead of breaking the press and kind of letting it go, like we saw with Mott over there on the wing, they brought the double from the weak side. So ultimately, Miami Impact made an adjustment. They're not just settling for the full court press. They're still bringing more action after they get back down to the half court.
And Tia, what have you seen from especially the Impact, the guards, the Impact, just like their skill and their dribble moveset already at this early age?
They're really fast and very athletic at this age. And just put that together with their IQ, they're the next level as far as high school level at this point. They're quick, they're mobile, they understand the game, they understand where they are. And once you have that high IQ, you are already above, 70, 80% of girls that do not have the IQ, or kids that other athletes that don't have the IQ. So this is, like I said, this is just amazing to watch just because of their age, and the girls' game has grown a lot.
This high-level play we have seen so far. Jaguars, Cadence Howell is pushing on the fast break for a Euro step of sorts. Got stopped by the brick wall of the Miami Impact's defense, and she's going to go to the line for 2. And Tia, we kind of talked about this in the boys game as well. How important is getting these AAU games in, now going fresh into high school basketball, but for more specifically the women's game?
It's the experience you get, just being on that competitive circle or circuit, and being able to really, evaluate your game. You either, at this point, you have it or you don't going into that high school level. So if you, struggling at this AAU circuit, you have to get better going into the high school level, because you're not playing against your age group at that point. You're playing against, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. So it's just more about the reps and getting that experience and evaluating where you truly are.
The self-development of these players are going to pay off in the upcoming years. The high school Jaguars on the fast break. Beautiful finish.
Strong move.
Lefty leg.
That's a grown woman move from Sloan Warlow through the paint, cutting this lead down to 1 for the Impact. And you see they got Warlow on the perimeter, and the Impact coach called a timeout, and Sylvia Figueroa hit the shot, and she's laughing and grinning with her coach, saying, "I can't believe he called that timeout."
That's one of those timeouts you wish you can get back.
I mean, beautiful shot, just walked right into it. And the Jaguars defense, they're not really running a man. It's like a high, 2-3 zone. You know more than me. The Hall of Famer to my left, Tia Grace from USF. What kind of defense are they running?
Yeah, they're using their size, so it's a high 2-3 zone, looks like, and just using their length and their size to really get out there on the shooters, and forcing them to try to drive and get into those gaps and run into the bigger girls back there to force them into a more tough shot. So it's all about them using their length, using their wingspan, and just trying to get those distractions and not having to run around and chase those smaller guards, and can save a little bit of their energy.
Right now it's going to be a inbound under the basket for the Impact. O'Reilly's going to inbound it, throw it in, finds Figueroa. She wants another one. Coach called a timeout. She said, why not make another one?
In the same exact spot. In the same exact spot.
She was ready for it, and she hit the shot. 36-32, Impact lead. Deitch on the fast break. Beautiful finish.
Great angle right there. Still a tough layup, but she took the right angle.
36-34, Impact by 2. pass down low. Finds its way to Volsey. She could not finish. She's cooled off from the first half where she was on fire, and Impact send 3, a trap to Mott. Mott gets fouled. 36 to 34. And it's felt like with the women's game, it was only a matter of time before, everybody realized and it became popular as it should have been a long time ago, Tia. So how does it feel being a former college player to see as Impact fast break Figueroa on the fast break, left-hand left? How does it feel as a college player, a former college player, to that game really gets the growth and exposure that it finally should after all these years?
It's well deserved. It's well deserved. Even women before me worked hard and wanted it to grow as well as I do. But just knowing that it's going in the right direction, and we didn't play just to play out there. We actually stood for something and allowed the growth to happen. So it's just a great feeling to just be able to continuously watch women's basketball grow into something that we didn't know where it would go at the very beginning.
Yes, with the charter flights now happening and allowed and finally being financed for by the WNBA, and draft ratings, 4 million people watched the draft this year. That's mark has never been hit, and competed with the NBA as well as the Jaguars, after a few sweet layups from Deitch, are within 2 of this game. Marlowe ties it up, 38 all, 10 minutes to go. Close game here. Lindano on the wing. Down low to O'Reilly. O'Reilly sets a screen. Lindano lets it fly. No good, O'Reilly. Offensive rebound. How about another one? Volsey. No good.
And it looks like they're in a 1-3-1 and really, protecting the perimeter. That's how they're able to, Impact was able to get a couple offensive rebounds down there. But, again, they're using their length to really distract the ball handlers and the guards and trying to keep everything in front.
A tough finish on the other end for Hallis, Skylar, as that one, the ball ends up in Lindano's hands. She hands it off to Figueroa, says, you take it. Off the back of the iron. O'Reilly pickpockets it from Bailey Ray. O'Reilly back in her hand. Volsey, give and go. Back out, Lindano. Can I get a 3? No good. 40-38. Skylar, what have you seen here in the second half? It was a 1-point ball game 6 minutes ago at halftime, and now it's 2 points. Miami Impact are leading just by 2 in this one. What have you seen?
It seems like they're canceling each other out in the sense that, the Miami Impact has size, but the Jaguars have speed, so they're breaking the full court trap. And the adjustment that I've seen, and Tia might be able to attest or can tell me wrong, the adjustment I've seen is instead of coming down and trying to move around the ball, once they know they got 2 Impact players out in the half court behind them, they've been attacking the basket and avoiding turnovers, and that's been a huge plus for them. But on the Impact, same thing. They're just kind of able to get whatever shot they want. They penetrate, kick, and there's shots open for them. And if they start knocking them down, they could create some separation.
And separation they've had with these open shots. Figueroa knocking down a few. And just a 2-point game. 9:02 to go. Miami Impact, Jacksonville, the Jaguars. This is game 3 of the championship bracket for 8th grade girls here at the U.S. Amateur Basketball State Championships. As that's no good from the Impact. O'Reilly fighting down low, secures the offensive rebound. She gets trapped, and Hallis ends up with it. Fast break. It's in Mott's hand. Mott ends up at the 3-point line. She lets it fly. No good. Great box out down low from Figueroa. Volsey is on the fast break now. The Jaguars have numbers. A spin move from Volsey. Return. It's a steal. Deitch has about 4 layups just this half. 42-38, the Jaguars lead the Miami Impact. O'Reilly steps into it, doesn't let it fly, misses the layup. She gets trapped. Jaguars, they need a timeout, or they need to get the ball out of her hands, and the coach is going to go for a timeout. And Mott got trapped by the entire Miami Impact roster. And Jaguars timeout, 42-38, Skylar.
Right before that, though, she missed a shot, but that's a testament to somebody who's locked in 24/7. She missed a shot, came right back down, and created a turnover. A lot of people, I mean, I guess I'm not going to say a lot of people, but I'll speak from my experience. When I was younger, and I might have taken a non-high percentage shot, and I missed it, missed it pretty badly, I give up on D because I start beating myself up. She came right down the court, made amends for that mistake, and then dished it for a teammate for an assist. That's some resiliency for an 8th grader. That's a lot of resiliency to have.
And speaking of 8th grader, Tia, these girls are heading into high school next year. What was one of your favorite high school basketball memories, whether on the court or off the court, with your teammates?
I would say making it to the Final Four my senior year. It was one of the biggest moments of my life at that point in time, and just being on that stage and having a lot of eyes on our team, and it wasn't even necessarily about me, it was about our team. We made it to another level of play, and just being able to compete against the best girls in the state at that point. It was a total different feeling.
And Final Four appearance, nothing to shade away from, is 42-38, 7:47.
Is that 2011 to you?
No, 2005.
2005. So Taurasi was on UConn, correct?
Yes.
At the time?
Yes.
Did you run into them, or did you run into?
I ran into UConn a few times. I played in the Big East, so I played against UConn, Louisville, Rutgers, Seton Hall, DePaul, Villanova. It was a bunch of us in there. That's when the Big East was really strong. So I didn't play against Taurasi, but I did play against Maya Moore and Tina Charles and all them. So
Maya Moore.
Yeah. And she's as good as she looked out there.
My question to
Tied
you
up.
My question to you is when they say, "Hey T, go grab Maya," were you like, got it, or are you looking around the room going,
"No,
what's happening here?"
I was trying to figure out if my coach lost his mind or something when he said. Nah, she just had that height advantage over me. I switched on her with one possession in particular, and she shot the ball over me like I wasn't standing there. Like, she's like, "Who is this in front of me?" So she had that size advantage to where I had no impact on her shot whatsoever.
As Warlow gets that one blocked, Jaguars up 5. Figueroa pushing it up. Impact had control of the first half, and now the Jaguars have control in the second half. Figueroa, corner pass to Lindano. O'Reilly, great passing from the Impact. Figueroa just short. Offensive rebound. Volsi, another one. That's good. Fighting down low.
Big.
Jaguars up 3.
I can tell you these girls are working hard every possession. I haven't seen not one player take a possession off all game. And as a coach, that's what you really want to see. But you got to know, 6 minutes left into this game. Fatigue is starting to set in, so you have to really, buckle down and execute these last few possessions to figure out who's going to come out on top.
Lindano, Figueroa finds its way to Lowry, and that's good. Loria, tie game, 43-43. Huge three-pointer for the Impact. Volsi and Lindano all over Hallis and split the double team, got it out, and Loria, great offensive rebound, jump ball, Impact's possession. Jaguars travel. A lot going on in the paint right now. Bodies hitting the floor.
Miami Impact, I don't know if you've seen it, Tia, but the moment when Harlow, I'm saying that correctly, or Warlow, when they're sending her that way for that screen, they're sending that double immediately. If I'm the Jaguars, I'm almost keeping Harlow off the ball.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing you can do because she's impacting the game in different ways, and just to eliminate that trap. You know, keep her a little distance to where you come off that screen, have her on the block where you can just dump it down to her.
You almost want to send that small ball screen instead of sending a big body. You want to send a small body, so then that way you can avoid them committing 2 defenders.
Exactly.
Jaguars get it down low. Floater's no good. What a rebound by Hallis. Deitch resets to Mott. Mott drives in, drops it off. Mott no good from the corner. O'Reilly pushing it up. Tie game, 5:20 to go. Pasagano finds his way to Lindano in the corner. She drops it off, stolen by Mott. Mott pushing the fast break, makes one defender miss, goes for the layup, it's good. Jaguars lead with 5 minutes to go.
Mott is on a mission. I don't know if you've seen her facial expressions, but it's just serious. I'm here.
4 impact defenders in front of her, and look at her on the floor. Lindano gets past her. Figueroa steps into it. Jab. Resets it. Luria, no good. She passes it.
Nice
Volsi.
move. Nice up and under. Man, that's a big-time move.
Textbook up and under from Volsi. You can't draw it up any better than that. She's been huge in the paint this game. No good. Big rebound from Pasagano. Jump ball.
That's that Angel Reese pump fake right there, up to the lane with the lefty.
That's huge.
Man.
Just the ability to know to do that.
Right.
That is what's so amazing to me.
And that was natural. It's like she works on that.
Yeah,
That wasn't a mistake, and I accidentally did it. It was.
She practiced that, and
right.
she has it in her bag, and she pulled it out right there. As Deitch, mid-range jumper, soft, does not get the shooter's touch. Volsi. Lindano, Volsi, and O'Reilly on the break. Beautiful pass from Lindano to O'Reilly.
Man, this is some nice basketball, I tell you.
This is what basketball is, how it was meant to be played. And what a pass there from Lindano to O'Reilly. And O'Reilly with a head fake, making her defender go past her. Mott now with the ball. Drives in. O'Reilly. Jaguars coach wanted a push, and Mott just touched that out of bounds line. And the crowd is gathering here. 4 minutes. Lorea lets the 3 go. No good. Volsi. She's there. They're going to call her for the travel.
Pivot foot came up.
Volsi and the impact up 2. Warlow checks in for Deitch. Jaguars opting for that height advantage with Warlow. Mott bringing it up.
That double's coming right here.
Stolen by Lorea on the fast break. That's good. Huge layup.
You're feeding into what they want to do. They want that screen to come up there. They're at their best when they're able to collapse towards the ball.
Warlow, spot up 3, no good. It's going to be out on the impact. 49-45, Jaguars down 4. And Deitch checks right back in.
Maybe after this play.
5-second violation on the Jaguars. 3:33 to go. That would have been a big possession for the Jaguars to cut into this 4-point lead.
Big stop here for the Jags.
Miami Impact, they get to Volsi on that elbow. She looks for Lorea, looks to the other wing. Lindano just short. Ball's on the floor. Bodies are dropping, ends up in the Impact's hand. O'Reilly ends up with the ball. A floater up 6. 3 minutes to go. Deitch drives in. She gets called for the foul. Tough foul from Volsi.
How many fouls on 0?
3:02, 6-point game. highly contested game in this championship bracket, Game 3 of 8th grade girls at the U.S. Amateur Basketball State Championships. As Deitch just misses that free throw. Tia, down 6. You're on the Jaguars. What are you saying to your teammates?
Push the ball offensively. Get good looks at the basket. Don't try to go for the 3, just yet. We can still get to the rim. Hopefully, get an and-1 call. But as far as defensively, really try to create turnovers. Really push the pace. Try to get up inside their dribbles and create something. Create those turnovers. Because it's less than 3 minutes now, so we have to play a little fast, a little outside our comfort zone.
Defense has to turn into the offense for the Jaguars to win this one. Lindano gets the rebound. Out to Volsi on the three-point line. She drives in. 1-2 to the free throw line.
Great body control right there. She took a what is it in football? The arm tackle. She took an arm tackle and went up and under.
She went through the arm tackle.
Yeah, she did.
And almost finished. Instead, she's going to go to the line for 2. Volsi to make it a 3-possession game. Just rims out.
Out! Rebound them out.
Six-point ball game, 2:45 to go. Crowd is filling up here at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus. But both free throws are missed, and a foul on the impact. It's going to reset the Jaguars. Jaguars need to get a bucket right here in order to swing this momentum. Mott brings it up. She's getting harassed. No fouls called. Figueroa is all over. Mott finds a cutting Hallis. It gets knocked out of her hand. Warlow ends up with it. Hallis drives in. She goes for the layup, just misses it. O'Reilly's getting trapped. She finds Figueroa. She slows it down. 2:15 to go. Impact up 6. Volsi on the three-point line. Drives in. Backs down the opponent. Back out to Figueroa. O'Reilly. Lindano drives in. Warlow gets called for the foul as Lindano tried to get around her with the right-hand scoop shot. Just a reminder to our audience, 6-point game here, 2:04, Impact leads. We have 3 games after this, all on separate streams. We have the 8th grade boys championship bracket, Game 7. Followed by that, the 6th grade boys championship bracket, Game 9, and then our last game, 4 p.m., 5th grade boys championship bracket. So, championship Sunday for a reason here at Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus. High caliber basketball has been played all day, and that will continue. Lindano at the line, knocked down the first one. It's now a 3-possession game. Misses that one. Offensive rebound by Volsi. That was huge, but she ended up missing the putback. Hallis splits the defenders. Oh my,
Nice
what
finish.
a finish, Tia. What a finish.
Great control, great body control to be able to split the defenders and get it up off the backboard.
Figueroa finds the open impact player on the wing, and that's going to be impact ball. Impact up 5, Skylar, under 1:40 to go in this one. What do the Jaguars have to do? And letting up layups to Volsi all game is not going to help them out.
I mean, just that last play they had on the fast break. Don't waste any time. Get to your spot, get to your angle, and put up a shot. The moment they allow Miami Impact to get set in their defense, that's when the turnovers start happening.
And Pasagano right now is at the line. 54-47, 7-point ball game. With 2 made, she cut down to a 5-point lead. Missed the first one. Still a 6-point, 2-possession possibility. excuse me. Yes. 1:26 to go here. 8th grade girls championship bracket action. Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Impact. Impact up 6. They're pushing the ball. 1:20 left. Volsey. She just gets the ball and has control in the paint.
Their free throw side out. Their free throw side out where you push the ball up the sideline. And long as you run the floor, easy 2 points, just like we just seen.
And now it's Hallis. Mott drives in, looking for the layup, and one is good. Ella Mott, what a finish. Huge shot with a minute left on the clock. Possible 3-point play looming.
She's a great player. She's one of those players that does not quit. I've said it before. She hasn't taken possession off this game. She'll make her mistakes, but she's gonna try 100% to fix her mistakes. So that's
Mott misses the free throw, and she's been playing with the same pace all game. That says a lot about her character. As Sophia Loraya almost loses it. Lindano, Volsey, free throw line. Figueroa back to Sophia at the top of the key. Sophia, good rip through. Figueroa, they're just passing around the Jaguars right now. Beautiful backdoor cut from O'Reilly. 8-point ball game, 33 seconds to go. The Jaguars are going to need a lot for this one. 25, Ella Mott drives in, floater no good, rebound Sophia. Foul called by the ref. 8-point ball game, 20 seconds left. Sophia now at the line to make it a 10-point ball game to give the Miami Impact the lead as the referees are having a discussion on the floor. A full platoon swap for the Miami Impact right there. Everybody except for the shooter at the line. Tia, what are your takeaways? Is it almost take a Reggie Miller at Madison Square Garden effort from the Jaguars to win this, but what are your takeaways from the Impact, their whole game, their teamwork, and their chemistry in this one?
They just stuck to their game plan. They came in with the mindset, we're going to push the pace, we're going to trap full court and half court, and we're going to continue to look at each other. And that's what they did on the offensive and defensive end. They stuck together and played as one. I mentioned earlier they had great chemistry, and it showed down the stretch.
And Ava Fieni with a layup right there, 50-61. Jaguars. Deitch drives in, gets fouled. 0.7 left on the clock, 61-50.
Outstanding effort from both teams, and tip your cap to Miami Impact. But, ultimately, turnovers will come back to haunt you, and Miami Impact was just better on the defensive end.
And Serena Volsey, number 0 for the Impact, all game down low. She's well into the double digits points-wise, and great moves down low, and stuff like that to you translate into the high school game, already having that foundation down.
Yeah, she's definitely an energy player. She came in with that spark and was ready to work every possession, offensively and defensively. So she was actually the biggest X factor of this game.
Miami Impact wins this one 61-51, Skylar. And what are your takeaways from this one, from specifically the 3-point shooting of the Impact? We've seen Figueroa knock down multiple threes, Lindano hit a few threes, and even their power forward O'Reilly, their shooting guard on that one. Just their ability outside the paint to make it work.
They dictated the tempo and the flow of the game. They came out in a full court press, created turnovers, capitalized on those turnovers, and I wish we had the box score to be able to look at the plus minuses. But ultimately, when you're able to dictate how you want the offense to run, and you're able to pick and choose who's getting involved, who's scoring, creating turnovers. It makes it hard for you to get stops.
And USF Hall of Famer Tia Grace is now with the winning coach of the Miami Impact. Tia, take it away.
All right, great win, Coach. We're very impressed by your girls. What was the most impressive thing coming out of this victory?
Them being able to handle adversity, and it was a close game, and they took the lead at one point, but the girls just kept fighting. They never put their heads down. The bench was always cheering them on, so just the way they handled adversity was really impressive.
I agree. At this age, it's 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
At this age, how do you keep them engaged in playing and keep them all together? Because their chemistry was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, every single day we work defensively, and I think defense is what's going to translate to everything else. So the minute we start getting stops and we focus on that and emphasize on that, especially in the games, it just makes everything a little bit easier. So sometimes they need a little push, but they like to get yelled at sometimes. But other than that, they're a pretty good group.
Okay, good job, Coach. Great win, and congratulations.
Thank you.
No problem.
After this game on a separate stream, it's going to be the 8th grade boys championship bracket, Game 7. It's going to be a team we've seen so far, the Southwest Florida Bucks, for the 3rd time, taking on a new opponent. For Brandon Ferguson, Skylar Blaine, and Tia Grace, you will catch that on another stream. The Miami Impact have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 61-51.